Welcome back. In our top business story, the Dubai Gold and Commodities Exchange achieved another milestone as volumes on the exchange exceeded 300,000 contracts in July. The exchange saw the highest ever monthly trade volume of nearly 311,000 contracts last month, valued at $15 billion. That's an increase of 99% from last year. Increased trading activity throughout July saw the average daily volume jump to 15,000 contracts. Gold is currently trading near an all-time high of $1,632 a fine ounce, as concerns over the global economic recovery, especially in the US, boosts demand for the metal as a protection of wealth. The UAE pumped over 28 billion barrels of oil out of the ground since it discovered the black gold over 30 years ago. That's according to press reports based on OPEC data. The oil production makes up around 6% of the total OPEC oil output, which stands at 447 billion barrels, OPEC's figures have shown. With that, the UAE is OPEC's sixth largest crude exporter after number one Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran, Kuwait and Venezuela. But despite pumping a lot of oil, the recoverable reserves of the Emirates have increased due to new discoveries and better oil field deployment technology. The country's proven oil reserves are estimated to be around 98 billion barrels. Dubai may soon lose its record of having the world's tallest building. Kingdom Holding, owned by Saudi billionaire Prince Al Walid bin Talal, said on Tuesday one of its associated firms signed a contract with Bin Laden Group to build the world's tallest tower in the Saudi city of Jeddah. The building, which will hold the name Kingdom Tower and is expected to cost $1.2 billion, is part of the first phase of Kingdom City, which is being built north of Jeddah. The proposed tower will stretch 1 kilometer high and include a hotel, serviced apartments, luxury condominiums and offices, Kingdom said in a statement. In comparison, Dubai's Burj Khalifa, built by Emaar Properties for $1.5 billion, reaches 828 meters into the sky and with that holds the current record of being the world's tallest tower. Emaar will also manage the development of Kingdom Tower. Stocks in the UAE gained today, helped by press reports that fund manager Russell Investments upgraded the UAE to emerging market status, and by that becoming the first GCC country to lose its frontier market status. And in our world business news, by a vote of 269 to 161, the U.S. House of Representatives passed legislation to raise the U.S. $14.3 trillion debt ceiling and avert a debt default. Later today, it's the Senate's turn. Its vote in favor of the deal is widely expected to follow suit. The deal will allow President Barack Obama to raise the U.S. borrowing limit by another $2.1 trillion. It is a crucial step to avert a catastrophic debt default by the world's biggest economy, but it's by no means popular with investors. Stock markets across the world opened lower on Tuesday after the deal caused fears that Washington could lose its top-notch AAA credit rating. There is still a cloud of uncertainty over the deal, especially because it hasn't got all the lawmakers' backing.
Both parties got us in this mess. Both parties are going to have to work together to get us out of this mess. And the real problem, I would add, Mr. Speaker, is the fact that we spend way more money than we take in.
It's hard to believe that we are putting our best foot forward with the legislation that comes before us today. I'm not happy with it, but I'm proud of some of the accomplishments contained in it. And that's why I am voting for it.
New car sales in Japan fell by a record in July, while their South Korean rivals extended their winning streak with strong global sales. Domestic sales in Japan fell nearly 28% to about 241,000 vehicles after the March earthquake battered production. Number one automaker Toyota led the decline with a 37% drop, while Honda sales fell 33%. And Nissan sales fell nearly 18%. But surprisingly, Japanese car makers are recovering faster than expected. Honda Motor surprised investors by avoiding a quarterly loss and even raised its annual profit guidance, while Nissan Motor reported a smaller than expected decline in quarterly profit. And Toyota raised its full-year profit forecast 39% today, citing a quicker than expected recovery from the March 11 earthquake. Toyota is even hiring as many as 4,000 temporary workers in Japan to make up lost production. The chief economic advisor to India's Prime Minister downgraded the country's economic growth rate for this year to 8.2%, lower than last year's growth of 8.5%, signaling the onset of the slowdown of India's booming economy. The chairman of the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister said that agriculture would grow an annual 3%, industry 7%, and services 10%. He attributed the lowered forecast to an unfavorable world economic situation, especially in the US and Europe, and added that the coming months might see high levels of inflation. However, he sounded optimistic looking at the growth rate, also because the fiscal deficit stands at only 4.6% of India's GDP.
According to the budgets, it came down to 5.1%, and more recent data indicate that the actual fiscal deficit in 2010-11 may be even lower than that. For 2011-12, it is estimated that the fiscal deficit will be 4.6% of the GDP.
Before we go, here's a quick overview of the oil and currency markets, and after that we have the day's sports news for you.